What's up, guys? Lately, I feel like the knife world's gotten a little weird or a little out of control. It feels like every week or every day there's a new crazy limited edition, a new Magna Ultra Van X S900 and 6005 V steel, a new sprint run, a new titanium version of the same knife you're already seeing 10 times. And somehow we're supposed to get excited because this one comes in purple or like neon yellow. Well, the question I always ask is, can the knife do the job? Sometimes we forget that knives are a tool. So today we're going to talk about some of my favorite cold steel folding knives. We'll look at the Cold Steel Air Lite, the SR1 Lite, the AD10, the American Lawman, and a bonus in the end, which is kind of like half a cold steel. These knives weren't designed to be photographed for Instagram, although I am a photographer and I do love a pretty sweet shot. They weren't designed to sit in a display case on the wall. They weren't designed to be the latest fidget toy. They were designed to work, hard use, get them dirty, wash them off, throw them back in the toolbox at the end of the day. And they'll keep on going long after the hype knives have been replaced by the next cool trend. And as always, like and subscribe, and I have Amazon affiliate links below. Purchase any of these knives, and it helps out the channel. So if you're tired of safe queens and pocket jewelry and gimmicks, or the same knife that comes in 15 different colors, then you're in the right place. Let's get into it. First up is the American Lawman. This is my favorite EDC. I've had this for like 15 years. This was pretty much the knife that started my whole crazy knife collecting journey. I think this came out like 15 years ago. Not sure. Let me know in the comments, guys. Do you know when this knife first was introduced? So we're looking at super thin design, really lightweight, like the perfect texture on the G10 handle. Oh, it just melts away in your hand. I'm a fan of sort of thinner knives. This originally came in the black DLC coating. I took that off and gave it kind of a hand satin finish. Just so good. You could use this knife for days. Finger contour right there in the handle just locks you right in. There's also another kind of choil there that you could choke up on for finer detail work. Let's talk about the specs. The weight on this is 4.5 ounces or 127 grams. Blade thickness is 3.5 millimeter. Overall length, just a little over 8 inches. And pretty much like all these cold steel knives you'll see, it has the infamous triad lock, which is pretty much bulletproof. Love this knife. Next up, we got the Cold Steel Air Lite. Also, just like the American Lawman, pretty much the same thickness. Super thin, really lightweight. This version is the drop point. I believe there's also a tanto version. So, silly me, I got a little rough with it and I broke off the tip. So I ground down the tip a little bit, and you can see I kind of overheated it and I got a little discoloring on there. But new sharpened edge, reprofiled the spine to more of a 90-degree spine. Really sharp for fire starting on a ferro rod. Just the right texture, not too rough, just grippy enough. If your hands get a little wet or moisture, they'll probably even grip even longer. Got some good jimping on there. Also the same triad lock, not too fidgety, just a strong detent, strong action on it. And some of the specs on this, pretty lightweight. We're looking at 3.2 ounces or 90.7 grams. Blade thickness is 3 millimeters. Overall length, 8 inches. And again, triad lock. Next up, SR1 Lite. This is a beefy knife. So we're going up in size in blade thickness, handle thickness, and weight. Listen to that. This is a tank. So we got the SR1 Lite Tanto version. This also comes in a spear point or drop point. Check out the thickness. It's got a real kind of rough, gnarly Griv-Ex handle, which is definitely enough room to hold onto this tight. My hands are sort of medium, and there's way enough room to grab this. You could also grab up on the front here. I don't really know why you want to. This is more of like a, geez, you could stab and pierce with this. Just a super beast of a knife. Let's look at specs on this. This is a heavy guy. This guy weighs 6.9 ounces or 195 grams. Blade thickness is 4.8 millimeters. The steel is 8CR 14 MOV, and overall length is 9 3/8. And again, that super strong triad lock. That's a Cold Steel SR1 Lite. And number 4, sticking with the big beefy knives, we got the AD10. This is an S35 VN. Again, super tank of a knife. These handles are probably the best handles I've ever seen on a knife. I don't know how they machined the G10, but it's absolutely gorgeous. It almost looks like a wood texture, like a black wood. Every other knife company should check out these scales because that's what they should be doing. And the price of this knife is not too bad. One of the most comfortable handles you ever find in a folding knife. I mean, this knife feels like a fixed blade. The pocket clip that comes on it is not too good. It's not deep carry at all. It comes down all the way to here. This is an aftermarket deep carry clip from Lynch Northwest. I believe it's stainless steel. So beefy of a knife. I mean, you don't even feel any hot spot on that clip at all. You could use this knife all day. Different positions, you can grab it. Again, it's more of a stabber instead of fine detail work. Let's look at some of the specs on the AD10. The weight on this is 7 ounces, 198 grams. Pretty beefy blade at 3.8 millimeters. Blade length is 3.5 inches, and the overall length is 8 3/4 with that super robust triad lock. And last we have kind of a half cold steel knife. This is the Demco AD20.5. So I'm sure everybody knows that Andrew Demko was the original designer at Cold Steel, and he kind of invented that triad lock. And when Cold Steel sold out, Andrew Demko started his own company, and then he created the Shark lock. So it's kind of a different version of the triad lock. You slide it back and it releases. So this is kind of a combination of a lot of Cold Steel's design in the past, but you could see the kind of heritage in this knife. This is also one of my favorite knives. Guys, if you don't have an AD20.5 in your collection or rotating your EDC, you need to pick one up for sure. So the AD20.5 is kind of like the little brother of the AD20 line. It's a lot smaller and definitely a lot more affordable. This is their more affordable version. I kind of did a little customization on it. I added the G10 scales, which are directly from Demko, some black hardware, and also swapped out the pocket clip for, again, a Lynch Northwest pocket clip. I'll see if I can find a link below for Lynch Northwest. I know we talked about non-fidgety knives, but this is like the fidget king. I mean, you can play with this thing all day. The steel is D2, and that's the Andrew Demko 20.5. So here's a quick size comparison of all 5 of these cold steel knives, starting with the AD20.5, the American Lawman, the Air Lite, then going to larger size as the AD10, and the SR1 Lite is just a little bit bigger than the AD10. Looks a lot bigger on this camera angle. So that's it, guys. These are 5 of my favorite cold steel folding knives. Remember to like and subscribe and click on those Amazon links below. And if you're interested in more knife content, check out this video here on 5 burly fixed blade knives and a really cool budget friendly EDC knife, the Romet RTB. And we'll talk to you later.